So this is the answer key for the work due on Friday. You had to do 2 through 12 even, and then 13 to 24 all. So I'm just going to run through them. Some I'll do a little bit quickly. Some I will just... Ooh, I should probably make sure my pen works. Some I'll do a little more explaining. So you have 2 plus radical negative 25. You have to take the I out. And then it's just the square root of 25, which is just 5. That's what you get for number 2. Number 4, once you take the I out, you're left with 20. So I took my I out, that's that negative sign. And I'm left with 4 times 5, and I know the square root of 4 is 2. So this is 2 radical 5. That's why I'm not leaving a lot of space for some of these. For these i's where you have the exponents, you're looking for multiples of 4. Every time you hit a multiple of 4, it resets itself. This is a perfect multiple of 4, number 8, so I know that's equal to a positive 1. And this is, boom, 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 I to the 32nd, and then 33rd, 34th, 35th. So this is equivalent to I to the 3rd, I know that, which is equal to negative I. I just had a little brain issue there, I kind of forgot. It's because, you know, I'm watching the zoo on TV on a Saturday night trying to do math. So this says 3i to the 5th squared. So that's equal to 9. Don't forget that 3 has to be squared also. I to the 10th. And I to the 10th, well, I to the 8th is below that. It's a multiple of 4. So I to the 9th, I to the 10th. That gives me I squared, and I know I squared equals negative 1. So there is my answer for number 10. 12, I have I to the 12th, 3 and 2. So let me do this first. I got the 6 coming from there. I to the 12th, 13, 14. And this brings me to 22nd. So that's going to be equal to negative 6. I know that because this is I to the 22nd, which if we go up by multiples of 4, this is like I to the 20th. And then 2 more gives me the I squared, which is where the negative comes from. If you attended the Google Meet on the Friday, this probably you understand. Remember, the pattern goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it resets. It keeps going. 13, we're just adding like terms. So I have 5 plus negative 2. And I have 2i plus 6i. That's it. 14, I'm doing a subtraction. Just make sure you remember to distribute the subtraction sign. So I have 8 minus 2. And then I have 3i minus 4i. 15, I am doing, can barely read that, but that says 3 minus 2 radical negative 18. This is equal to 3 minus, I know the I has to come out. And then the radical 18 splits into 9 and 2. So I'm going to take out a 3. That's what I have there. That minus sign is going to distribute, but I'm going to make this into 2 steps. Here's my minus, because I'm afraid I'll mess up if I don't. Then it says 3 radical negative 8. So the negative sign is going to come out as an I. So I have 3i, but the 2 is also going to come out, and a 2 on the inside. So I have 3 minus 2, which is 1. And then I have a negative 6 minus another 6. And these are common. So 6i radical 2 minus another 6i radical 2 is a negative 12i radical 2. 16, we have a FOIL. 5 times 3. Negative 2i times 3. 5 times 4i. And then I have negative 2i times 4i is negative 8i squared. But I know I squared equals negative 1. So this is really plus 8. We always write the real part first. And then we attach the imaginary after it. So that's number 16. 17, another FOIL. I see these are conjugates though. So I really can just do 81. And I know that the 27i and the negative 27i are going to cancel. I can't do that every time, but if I can recognize that my binomials have opposite signs, those middle terms will cancel. Then I have my last term, which is negative 9i squared, which is the same thing as plus 9. So I get 90 for that one. 18, this is, oh, does that say 3 or 2? crud, you really expect me to say that? Must. Do I have to open my computer again? All right, I'm gonna open my computer again because I do not want to mess this up. So hold on one second. Can't quite see it with the marker there. Let's see. Here it is. Go to the assignment. View assignment, instructions, imaginary numbers. Here we are. Let's just go down and just see what that exponent is. 18. Oh, that is a squared. Okay, so 4 minus 3i squared. Just a little 2. Right there. So I'm going to write it out twice. So I have to do 4 times 4. And I have negative 12i minus 12i. And then I have negative 3i times negative 3i is positive 9i squared. So 9i squared is equal to negative 9. That's number 18. 19. Okay, so I have the I coming out. So I have 5 plus 4i here. And then the other one I have 2 minus, take the I out, 3i. We're going to FOIL it. So I have 5 times 2. I have 4i times 2. I have 5 times negative 3i. And my daughter's coming back over here with a wicked sunburn, so this may not go well. This becomes plus 12. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second, Eve. I am almost done. That's a 7, guys. That says 22 minus 7i. I have like 3 problems left, okay? And then I will devote myself to you full time. Once again, these are conjugates, so really I just have to focus on the 9 times the 9. And then I have a minus I squared 2, minus 2i squared. And the reason I'm not doing the middle terms is they are conjugates. Oops, so you're going to get 83 on that one. 22. They had, in the original problem, they had divided by 5. I wrote it like this just because I find it a lot more visually appealing, I guess, to do it like this, because I can see that the answer is going to be 2 minus I. Both terms have to get divided by 5. This one, we are going to rationalize by multiplying by I. The 3 is not our problem. We don't care if that stays there. So if I multiply the top by I get 1 times I, and I get I times negative 2, which is negative 2i squared for now. And on the bottom I get that. So negative 2i squared is equal to negative 2 times negative 1, which is 2. You can see I'm switching the order because I prefer that order. And I get negative 3 on the bottom. Oh, this pen is so weird. You might see answers written like this. They do like to separate them. These 2 problems are equivalent, though. However you read it is fine with me. 23. To rationalize, we have to multiply by the conjugate, so that's 1 minus I. So on the top, I'm going to get 2. I'm going to get negative 2i. I'm going to get negative 3i. Then I'm going to get positive 3i squared. And because I'm running out of room, positive 3i squared is going to result in negative 3. And I'm going to write it like that. On the bottom, I'm going to get 1 minus I squared, which is that. So on the top, I get negative 1 minus 5i all over 2. So I'm going to write it like I think they would write it, which would be like this. Please call me out for a mistake. If you watch this whole thing and you see I messed up, call me out. You will get bonus points. And lastly, 24. I couldn't fit it down there, so I wrote it up here. The conjugate is 3 plus I. So I am going to FOIL the top. So I'm going to get 15 plus 6i. And then plus 5i minus 2. It was plus 2i squared, but that gets switched. On the bottom, they're conjugate, so I am really just focused on the first and the last term. So I got my 9, and I have a minus I squared. which is minus a negative 1, which is plus 1. So in this one, I get 13 plus 11i, and each of them is over 10. A lot of the times you see problems split this up. If you wrote it all over 10, that would be great. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying your weekend.